There we go. Now I'm on stage. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show. Sorry for being late today. I would have been here 25 minutes ago, but I had a last second quick meeting with the employees here. So I'm here. I'm bringing you the news. What's going on? Today's going to be a Bitcoin day because what's going on over the weekend? We saw Bitcoin rise to 107,000 and then we had a little dip back down to like 103. But as of right now, Bitcoin's at 105. We're making our way back up. Let's go Bitcoin. Like what happened? Why did we dip yesterday? Lots of stuff was going on. But I think the big thing was I think Micro Sailor's company Strategy has a lawsuit happening after he acquired another 7,000 Bitcoin. So we'll cover that news article. We got a couple of others where JP Morgan is actually saying Bitcoin is looking like it's going to outperform gold this year. So I think we all kind of knew that and saw that happening. And then a good thing to keep an eye on, I don't have any articles on it, is about just pay attention to the bond market, especially Japan's bond market. I'm feeling like that one's getting a lot of high yields and how will that affect the crypto market and everything? It's like this is where all this monetary funds going to move into soon, because usually people go into bonds, have a little safe haven from wherever the country they're buying it from. But right now we're seeing the United States making bonds for themselves because other people are feeling a little bit less risky. So the market's going to get pretty crazy. Who knows? You may see Bitcoin spike up to 200,000 within a month. It's getting nuts. So yes, so since I started late, I'm kind of be running out of time. So let's go through the news and learn about what's going on in the space. So here we go. So first up is JP. Nope. I didn't even show you. I was showing you my screen last time. I was showcasing Bitcoin. Hold on. Last minute, huh? I gotta share my screen with you guys. Last minute. Would have been more prepared. I am sorry. So hold on. Let me get to my system so I can share my screen. Extend. Duplicate 1 and 4. And is that good? Are we there? Yes, we are now. So we are here. I'll put that back. And here's our first article of the day. So thank you for bearing with me. So JP Morgan sees Bitcoin outpacing gold as crypto derivatives market expands. Bitcoin could do better than gold this year as institutions continue to invest. And analysis at JP Morgan wrote in a note published Thursday about it. So Bitcoin has more potential upside than gold, continuing a trend seen in recent months as the largest digital asset by market value has rallied. JP Morgan Analysis wrote in a note published Thursday, and analysis noted that Bitcoin has been buoyed by a range of catalysts lately, including growing corporate treasury allocations and legislation, both proposed and enacted, allowing states to even invest in the asset. Yes, we got Arizona and New Hampshire, and plenty more going to be coming, I guarantee it. And they also pointed out to recent acquisitions by Coinbase and Kraken as signs of maturing futures and derivative markets. They said that we expect that the year-to-date zero-sum game between gold and Bitcoin is to extend to the remainder of the year, but are biased towards crypto-specific catalysts, creating more upside for Bitcoin over gold into the second half of the year. The analysis led by Nicholas Panagoutou, and he wrote about it. But let's see, what chart do we have right here? Here's Bitcoin's price, just showcasing where it's gone over this last year. But JP Morgan report follows a recent crypto market rally that pushed Bitcoin above $104,500, its highest level since late January, and within 5% of its all-time high reached that month. Now, investors have returned to risk assets in recent weeks, with Bitcoin leading the charge. While some advocates continue to position the world's largest crypto as a safe haven asset, JP Morgan previously noted it has more often behaved like a risk-on investment, correlating with equities rather than decoupling from the broader market trends. Now let's talk about the derivatives and acquisitions. JP Morgan also pointed out to a string of recent deals as signs of maturing crypto derivative markets. These includes Coinbase's acquisition of Deerbit, Kraken's purchase of U.S. futures platform NinjaTrader, and Gemini securing a license to offering derivatives in Europe. The analysis wrote that with these developments, they show that the crypto derivatives universe is maturing, and by coming under US or EU regulations, it could induce confidence and greater participation by traditional institutional investors. So it is growing, guys, and everyone wants it now. So still, gold prices may climb further if there are new developments in the ongoing tariff negotiations with China. Once the current 90-day pause ends, Michael Petch, CEO of digital precious metals platform Argo, told Decrypt that the two assets have climbed steadily over the past year as investors fretted about inflation and wider macro uncertainties. But although Bitcoin has outpaced gold throughout that period, Last December, Bitcoin ETF overtook their gold counterparts for net inflows, according to the K33 research. And as of May, Bitcoin ETFs are outpacing gold ETFs in new inflows. Now, gold is trading at $3,230, down from its April all-time high of $3,500, and Bitcoin was trading hands at $103,800, just below its January 20th record of nearly 109. So we are so close to reaching all-time highs again. And I really feel like Bitcoin's just going to keep going because all the adoption going, we got the bonds to look forward to. And again, more people are just slowly accepting it. Like, what was it? Last week we saw Steak and Shake become like the first not the first fast food, but one of the fast food places out there to accept Bitcoin. You can use a Lightning wallet to do it, to send it. Our CEO, Jay Bose, he had a photo with his family. They bought some hamburgers using Bitcoin, showed the receipt. It was awesome. So guys, Bitcoin's being adopted like no other at a faster pace right now. And we even have another article of another company accepting Bitcoin as well. And which company is that? It is, hold on, I gotta zoom out of here. It is Heritage Distilling, which now accepts Bitcoin and will hold it as a company asset. So another company accepting Bitcoin, and it's a distillery. So the Craft Spirits, the Craft Spirits company becomes the first in its industry to take Bitcoin as payment and add Bitcoin to its treasury under a new policy. So nice. So yesterday, Heritage Distilling Company, our holdings, Holding Inc. from the NASDAQ as ACASK is a leading U.S. craft spirits producer and announced that it will begin accepting Bitcoin as a payment through its direct-to-consumer e-commerce platform and will hold Bitcoin as a strategic asset under a newly approved cryptocurrency treasury reserve policy. So they're accepting Bitcoin and they're getting a policy to it. And here is that Twitter post letting everyone know that they are implementing a cryptocurrency treasury policy. Very nice. Now, the policy approved by the company's board of directors as part of the broader sales and treasury diversification strategy was developed by the Technology and Cryptocurrency Committee chaired by tech and digital payments leader Matt Swan. Now, this move makes Heritage the first in the craft spirits sector to formally integrate Bitcoin into both its payment and treasury operations. So first spirits company to be doing this. Now, this is a new age of commerce, and it is emerging, with cryptocurrencies leading the way to reduce friction between parties, buyers, and sellers of goods and services, stated by Matt Swan. On behalf of the board, having been immersed in the convergence of technology and currencies for nearly 2 decades, it is exciting to see Heritage forge headfirst into the opportunity to combine the power of the consumer and cryptocurrency. Now, Heritage's decision comes amid rapidly growing public interest in digital assets, and the company said it estimated that between 65 to 86 million Americans currently hold Bitcoin and crypto, and then realizes the opportunity that Heritage has to acquire more Bitcoin by accepting it as payment. So this company realizes that they need to acquire more Bitcoin, and what's the easiest way to do it other than just straight up buying it? Accept it as a form of payment. And then now you don't even have to go through the fiat on-ramp section of trying to buy it. So like they get it that they need more Bitcoin and they're making this change to be able to acquire more of it. So yeah. Now, Heritage has always been an innovator, and once again, we are leading the way in the craft spirits space. As we prepare to accept Bitcoin and Dogecoin as a form of payment for online e-commerce, sales, and to acquire and hold these cryptocurrencies as assets, commented that the CEO of Heritage, Justin Stifel. As I have noted in the past, unlike traditional investors who purchase crypto with cash and are immediately subject to potential pricing volatility, as a company producing goods for sale, acceptable margins between the retail price of our products and their cost of production is expected to offset potential fluctuations in the value of cryptos. Now we accept as payment. This provides us considerable financial flexibility as we develop product offerings for users and enthusiasts of these fiat alternatives. So now they're giving people just options, which every company would benefit from. It's like there's a big subcategory of people who hold Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and they want to spend it. And so they see that, and by now offering it away, they just open up themselves to this whole another subcategory of customers because like, oh, they don't want to spend cash right now specifically. Oh, but if we say we offer Bitcoin, that's not giving them that attention. It's like going, oh, whoa, this guy accepts it. You know what? I want to support the cause and show that I can use Bitcoin in everyday life. So yeah, so the company sees Bitcoin as a long-term strategy asset and a forward-looking step in connecting with modern consumers while also exploring new efficiencies in financial operations. Now, Heritage is not only integrating Bitcoin as a payment method, but also incorporating it as a treasury. So way to go, Heritage. I look forward to hearing more news from you. And like, again, we're just going to keep getting more and more articles about just like companies accepting cryptocurrencies, payment, it's going on their treasury. And eventually, again, the supply is going to crunch so hard because you won't be able to just get it from the miners. You won't be able to just get it off exchanges anymore. There'll be a premium because there's not enough Bitcoin to go around. 21 million, 2 million, 3 millions left to be mined. And there is at least, how much was it? 60%. I saw an article last week, like 60% of like Bitcoin wallets are just in the hodl phase. They're not going to sell. So just take that news and information as you will. It's not financial advice, but just from everything I'm seeing, you just want to be sure you're holding on to your Bitcoin and it's in your own custody. So that was one of our Bitcoin adoption news going on. Now we have a nice little tease going on that Panama City may be having a Bitcoin reserve because they had a meeting with El Salvador officials and now they're teasing about it. So let's go to this article before we go for a break. So yes, Panama City mayor teases that Bitcoin reserve plan after meeting El Salvador officials. Though no formal details were released, the timing of the post comes just ahead of the Mirzachi's scheduled appearance at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas. And guys, again, Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, we're going to be there. So it'll be great to see all of your faces. I will be here at the club streaming it, so I'll be seeing you online, but a lot of our team is going to be down there. It's going to be crazy. Then you can even see our Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club in Vegas. Bitcoin Ben's down there, getting that set up and everything. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. But Panama City mayor, what, they put two mayors, or is his name Mayor? Wow, that's a tongue twister. So Panama City Mayor Mizrachi has sparked speculation about the city creating a Bitcoin reserve following a crypto social media post after meeting with two of El Salvador's leading Bitcoin strategists. Now, Bitcoin Reserve, Mizrachi wrote on an X post on May 16th, shortly after sitting down with Max Kaiser and Stacy Herbert, key figures behind El Salvador's Bitcoin policies. Now, though no formal details were released, the timing of the post comes just ahead of Mirzachi's scheduled appearance at Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas. Now, Panama City to accept Bitcoin and major stablecoins out there. Mirzachi has previously stated that Panama City would accept Bitcoin, Ether, Tether, and USDC once crypto-to-fiat payment infrastructure is in place. However, as a move to establish a formal reserve would require legislative backing from Panama's National Assembly, which is a step that has not yet been taken publicly. Now, his post follows similar developments in Arizona and New Hampshire, where state lawmakers passed bills supporting Bitcoin reserves. And meanwhile, Ukraine is reportedly exploring Bitcoin as part of its national reserve strategy as well. Yes, I saw that article last week, but I didn't cover it. But again, adoption is happening. I can't cover it all. I see it happening, and I may not just report on all the news, but guys, it's like when I do report on it, it's like that's just a fraction of what's actually going on out there. So during their meeting, Kaiser indicated that the discussions, including Bitcoin mining and financial education, is pretty big. Now, he pointed out that Panama's hydroelectric resource and El Salvador's geothermal energy are tools to drive Bitcoin infrastructure across Central America. Herbert, who oversees El Salvador's Bitcoin office, revealed that Panama City plans to add the country's What is Money financial literacy textbook to its online library. The textbook forms part of El Salvador's national curriculum on Bitcoin. Now, Kaiser currently serves as a senior advisor to El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, while Herbert manages policy and implementations. Now, El Salvador currently holds over 6,100 Bitcoin, valued at nearly $640 million as part of its official reserve, a model Panama City could be eyeing as it explores deeper Bitcoin integration. Now, public companies ramp up its Bitcoin exposure. That's right, as we saw with Heritage Spirits, Heritage Distilling. Now, public companies continue to increase their exposure to Bitcoin, with Michael Saylor's firm Strategy leading the charge. The Virginia-based company recently announced that it would double its capital, raising efforts to $84 billion in order to acquire more Bitcoin. This includes plans to sell an additional $21 billion in common stock, following the full utilization of a prior program approved in October. Now, in addition to equity sales, Strategy has also expanded its debt issuance target from $21 billion to $42 billion, with $14.6 billion still available under the current authorization. Now on Monday, Metaplanet also expanded its Bitcoin treasury, acquiring an additional 1,241 Bitcoin for approximately 18.4 billion yen, or $126 million. Now, the latest purchase brings the company's total holdings to 6,796 Bitcoin, currently valued at over 706 million, and also passing El Salvador's Bitcoin holdings out there too. So they got a little later start than El Salvador, Metaplanet, but El Salvador's still killing it. Like, we knew some companies out there would definitely pass them, some countries would pass them, but they did good on their own country by doing it. But this trend reflects a broader institutional interest in Bitcoin. During the first quarter of the year, publicly listed firms collectively grew their Bitcoin holdings by 16.1%, indicating continued confidence in the asset despite persistent market volatility. Yeah, the market's been volatile. Like, once we reached that all-time high of 108 something, a little around there, like, Bitcoin saw a decrease back down to 74. People were freaked out at it. They were going like, is this it? Is it over? But us in the space were going, nah, it's too soon. It's like, it's way too soon for this to be over. This is just a little dip in the market, so don't get scared from it. But even with that, people, they didn't get scared. Some of them trusted us because, again, we follow the news every day. And it's just like, there's still more stuff coming. So I wouldn't just sell out. I don't think it's going to go lower. Like, even now, like, once we get to a certain level, I don't think we're going to drop beneath 100,000 again. But we just got to wait till we get to that point. So, yeah, adoption's happening. We're getting more and more news about who's adopting Bitcoin, what strategies are being implemented. We're getting new strategic Bitcoin reserves happening around the world. Panama City's teasing about theirs. Ukraine was talking about it. And we have all 50 states in the U.S. still shooting for it. Well, 48 now, since we have 2 of the 50 states. And then eventually the entire U.S. reserve will have it as well. So get your Bitcoin while you can, guys. Again, I'm saying it every day. Bitcoin is scarce. There's not enough for everyone to have one full Bitcoin in their balance sheet. So just start collecting as much as you can and hodl it. So that's some of our Bitcoin news right now. Let's take a quick ad break and we will be back with more crypto news. So here we go.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. Let's continue on with this Bitcoin news trail because there is so much Bitcoin news. So again, we just finished talking about Panama City teasing about their reserve. We talked about Heritage Distilling adding Bitcoin payments and a treasury to their balances. And JP Morgan, who's always been wishy-washy, the chase, they always hated crypto, but his analysis are seeing Bitcoin outperform gold this year. So lots of great news happening with Bitcoin. Let's continue this trend going, except for this is not so good. But it's good news and not so news, because I'm wondering, why is there a class action lawsuit against Strategy? What's going on? But that came right after they purchased another 7,390 or 7,390 Bitcoin for $765 million. So what's going on? So here we go. So Michael Saylor's strategy bagged another 73,009 or 7. Why do I keep saying 1,000? That'd be crazy if we bought that much. 7,390 Bitcoin last week as prices rallied above 100,000 and also got hit with a class action lawsuit, according to the company's latest SEC filing. So Strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy, the top corporate Bitcoin holder, acquired nearly $765 million in Bitcoin last week. Now, the purchase came as the company faced a class action lawsuit, and according to a May 19th announcement, Strategy acquired the 7,390 Bitcoin for about $764.9 million at an average price of just under 103,500. Strategy reported a Bitcoin yield of 16.3% year to date, and Strategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor made his usual hint at the purchase in a May 18th post. Now, this man is always like saying, "Nah, we're not going to buy Bitcoin right now. We're going to hold off for a little bit," just to find out a day later, "Oh, look, we did buy Bitcoin." So if you ever hear Strategies say that they're not going to buy Bitcoin this month, take that with a grain of salt, because most likely they will buy more. But here's Michael Saylor's tweet saying, "Never short a man who buys orange ink by the barrel." So that's what he is doing. Now, according to a May 19th filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the company was also the recipient of a class action lawsuit. The suit accuses Strategy officials of having failed to represent the nature of Bitcoin investments accurately. As of May 18th, Strategy holds 576,230 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. And he acquired it for around $40.2 billion at an average price of $69,726 per coin. So that's his average price per coin. That's the beauty of dollar cost averaging. Like, you can't afford a full Bitcoin right now, just dollar cost average into it, because in the long run, you could be a lot shorter per coin than what the actual price is. Now, the company's total holdings are valued at more than $59.2 billion, representing an unrealized gain of $19.2 billion, or 47%. According to CoinMarketCap data, Bitcoin traded around 102,615 at the time of this writing, which is up 20% over the last month. Now, let's talk about the class action lawsuit Strategy was hit with. In a recent SEC filing, the firm wrote that a purported class action lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Virginia against the company's executives, Strategy Chairman Michael Saylor, President and CEO Phong Le, and Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Andrew Kang. All are defendants in the suit. Now, Strategy officials are accused of violations of Section 10B of the Securities and Exchange Act of 1934, as amended, the Exchange Act and Rule 10B-5. They're under and Section 20A of the Exchange Act, the filing states. They said the suit claims that the named defendants made false and or misleading statements with respect to and or failed to disclose information with respect to the anticipated profitability of our Bitcoin-focused investment strategy and treasury options and their various risks associated with Bitcoin's volatility. So it's about the volatility about Bitcoin and its purchases? Wait, what? So OXNGMI, a pseudonymous developer at a decentralized financial data platform, DeFi Llama, wrote in a May 19th X post that he believes the lawsuit has no basis. He explained that the suit seems to be people complaining that Strategy understated how much money it could lose if BTC went down. Still, he argued that the risks were not understated. He said, "You're buying a company that is self-labeled as leverage on Bitcoin. What do you expect?" It was pretty funny. Now, the corporate Bitcoin treasury trend grows. Strategy's Bitcoin treasury strategy has inspired other companies to follow in its footsteps. Last week, shares of luxury watchmaker Top Win surged more than 60% in pre-market trading after the company said it would adopt a Bitcoin accumulation strategy and has changed its name to Asia Strategy. So everyone's already called Metaplanet the Japanese strategy firm, but now we actually have an Asia strategy because these guys changed their name. But it just shows that people who pick up like a Bitcoin strategy, their stocks are rising in the trading market. Now, Asia Strategy said that to implement its plan, it is partnering with Sora Ventures, which previously partnered with Metaplanet in 2024 to create Japan's first corporate Bitcoin treasury. Now, Metaplanet now holds more Bitcoin than El Salvador. Also last week, a Bahrain-based listed catering company with 24.2 million market cap adopted a Bitcoin's treasury strategy in partnership with investment firm 10x. So there's another company. Which one is it? Bahrain-based. So a company. So we didn't see exactly which company it was, but a catering company was also adopting a Bitcoin strategy. So guys, everybody is accepting a Bitcoin strategy. Why aren't you? just live the Bitcoin lifestyle. It's so simple. Like, why are we keeping our money in the banks? Let's exit the old system. It's like only keep it in the bank what you need to do to pay your bills, like just that little amount. Everything else, holding Bitcoin. That's what I'm doing. That's like my strategy, and it works out just fine. And I love it. So guys, pick up the Bitcoin strategy and you will definitely benefit from it. Like, how many news articles we have to cover for you to actually see and get, oh, I guess this actually does work, for you just to try it out yourself to actually get really proven that it does work. So yeah, so strategy ads, more Bitcoin, class actions lawsuit, kind of a joke. And I'll keep you informed on what goes on there. I'll probably be dismissed, or we'll see what happens, but I'll keep you informed on more news when that happens. Now let's move on to our next article. An Australian court ruling could lead to $640 million in Bitcoin tax refunds. That's right, tax refunds, because I guess there was a discrepancy, or there was just some uncertain rules with tax regulations out there. So now, because of this, people may be getting some money back. So let's learn about it. So a judge's ruling in a criminal case may pave the way for $640 million in tax refunds, challenging the Australian Tax Office long-held stance on crypto taxation. So a court decision in Australia could open the door to as much as $640 million in capital gains tax refunds on Bitcoin transactions after a judge ruled that crypto should be treated as money rather than a taxable asset. On May 19th, the Australian Financial Review, or the AFR, reported that the decision arose within a criminal case involving federal police officer William Wheatley, who allegedly stole 81.6 Bitcoin. Now, in 2019, at the time, the assets were roughly $492,000 at the current market price, and the tokens are valued at more than $13 million. Now, in the case, Judge Michael O'Connell of Victoria ruled that Bitcoin qualifies as a form of money rather than property, likening the digital assets to Australian dollars rather than just shares, gold, or foreign currency. The interpretation could set a legal precedent, potentially replacing Bitcoin transactions outside the scope of Australia's current CGT regime. So yeah, this is some good news. Now, the new court ruling challenges Australian crypto tax laws. In an AFR interview, tax lawyer Adrian Cartland said that the verdict totally upends the Australian Taxation Office current position. Since 2014, the ATO has classified crypto assets as a CGT asset, and this means that users must pay tax when selling or trading them under the ATO's guidance. And any disposal of Bitcoin, including selling it for fiat, exchanging it for another cryptocurrency, or using it to purchase goods or services, constitutes a CGT event. Now, this framework has been the basis for taxing cryptocurrency transactions in Australia for over a decade. However, the recent ruling challenges the approach by suggesting that Bitcoin functions more like money than property. This potentially exempted it from CGT, because in like old days of crypto, like they didn't know how to classify it, so they just lumped it up with a property tax as if it was a house. But now it's like, oh no, this is actually money. We got to change the rules on this, and we're going to see this everywhere too. But tax refunds could reach $640 million because of it. So Cartland said that it was held that Bitcoin is Australian money, and it is not a CGT asset. Therefore, acquisitions and disposals of Bitcoin have no tax consequences, the tax lawyer added. Now, if the ruling is upheld on the appeal, Cartland estimates that there could be potential tax refunds totaling 1 billion Australian dollars. However, while Cartland thinks there could be up to $1 billion in refunds, the ATO said that there were no official figures that confirm the amount to be potentially refunded if the case changes how Bitcoin is taxed in Australia. So we'll see. So this is like an if moment, if like they will have to do it, if it goes through. And like they're even saying it's like we don't even have accurate numbers on how much this could be. So if you're in Australia, you paid some crypto taxation out there for capital gains tax and whatnot, you may want to pay attention to this news. So let's keep following it, see what happens, and see if any changes do happen, if you would qualify to this refund. So that's what's going on in Australia right now. But it's good that they're looking at it. And it's funny that a criminal case actually paved the way for this to actually happen, for them to see. It's like oh, wait a minute, we got to treat this differently. So you never know how we're get these changes to happen, but either way, it's good news. So that's all Australia news for you. Now let's go for a little bit of a warning out there. I don't know how many people are using Chinese printers out there, but it looks like this Chinese printer maker spread Bitcoin stealing malware in their devices. So yeah, let's be on alert for this and see what exactly it is. So Chinese printer maker ProColored reportedly spread clipboard hijacking Bitcoin malware via its official drivers in a supply chain attack that led to over $950,000 in stolen funds. Uh-oh. So again, careful what devices you plug into your computer that you're holding your crypto on. That's why we sell crypto-only laptops from Chaotic Solutions. Again, specifically just for holding your crypto. It's your bank vault. It's how you keep your assets protected. You're not going to be plugging it in with a printer, scrolling the web, doing some research on there. You are just using it for a wallet. So if you want to get serious about keeping your crypto safe, take a look at Chaotic Solutions. But let's continue on with this. So Chinese printer manufacturer ProColor distributed Bitcoin stealing malware alongside its official drivers, according to local media reports. Now, Chinese news outlets Landian News reported on May 19th that the Shenzhen-based printer company ProColor has been distributing Bitcoin stealing malware alongside official drivers. The company reported used a USB drivers to distribute the malware-ridden drivers and uploaded to compromised software to the cloud storage for global download. Now, a total of 9.3 Bitcoin, worth around $953,000, have been stolen, according to the report. Crypto tracking and compliance firm Slow Mist described how the malware operates in a May 19th X post. They said that the official driver provided by this printer carries a backdoor program. It will hijack the wallet address in the user's clipboard and replace it with the attacker's address. So that's what's going on. So it's not like it's stealing your crypto. It's just like if you're about to do a transaction, you got to paste the public address of where you're sending it to. Most of the time, you're just copying and pasting that. So this is where it's getting you on the clipboard. So when you copy it and you paste the address in, it's going to paste in the attacker's address and not the one you put in there. So this is why, it's always so very important to verify your address when sending and receiving cryptocurrency. You want to be certain it goes there. You get 2 opportunities, or you even get 3 sometimes. It's the moment you put it in there, that's the first one before you click approve, and the amount you're sending, verify those first 4, last 4, verify the whole address if you want to, just to be certain about it. You click continue, and then it gives you one more chance to verify that that money is going into the correct place. So this is what this hack is really doing. So just again, to fix this issue or to stay alert, just always verify where you're sending your crypto. Just don't click send without even looking. Look at your wallet, be sure you know exactly where it's going. But the official driver provided by this printer carries a backdoor program. It will hijack the wallet's address in the user's clipboard and replace it with the attacker's address, which is this one right here. So the attacker has stolen nearly 9.3 Bitcoin right now, and it's been active since April 22nd, 2016, and then last seen March 14th, 2024, with multiple links to exchanges. Now also, YouTube flags malware in ProColor drivers. Landian News recommended users who downloaded ProColored printers drivers in the past 6 months to immediately perform a full system scan using antivirus software. Still, given the hit or miss nature of antivirus software, a full system reset is still always the better option when in doubt. So ideally, you should reinstall your operating system and thoroughly check old files out there. And the issue was allegedly first reported by YouTuber Cameron Coward, whose antivirus software detected the malware in the drivers while testing a ProColored UV printer. The software flagged the driver as containing a worm and a Trojan virus named Foxif. So yeah, if you have a ProColored printer, you may want to, again, reboot your computer, check old files. If you have one of these computers, you got some work to do because you got to be sure your computer's safe, or you may need to get a new one because of it. So just be aware. But cybersecurity company confirms that the crypto stealing malware is there. When contacted by ProColored, they denied the claims and dismissed the antivirus tool, flagging their drivers as false positive. Coward turned to Reddit, where he shares the issue with cybersecurity professionals, attracting the attention of cybersecurity firm G-Data. Now, G-Data's investigation found that most of ProColor drivers were hosted on the file hosting service Mega, with uploads as old as October 2023. An analysis of those files confirmed that they were compromised by 2 distinct pieces of malware. Backdoor win32.backdoor.xredrata. Ooh, the Rata one. Yeah, that's bad. And Crypto Stealer designs its substitute addresses in the clipboard with those controlled by the attacker. Now, G-Data contacted ProColor with the hardware producing, saying it deleted the infected drivers from its storage on May 8th and rescanned all files. And ProColored attributed the malware to a supply chain compromise, stating that the malicious files were introduced through infected USB devices before being uploaded online. So Yeah, so just be careful with this. Be aware this came from, again, a Chinese printer company called ProColored. So if that name sounds familiar to you, just maybe do just a quick little checkup on your device that you had it plugged into. Maybe you need to go get a new printer, maybe need a new computer, unless you do the full reboot on it. But just be safe out there and be aware that this was happening with this clipboard hack. And now, lastly, I just wanted to, not Bitcoin news, like that's all, this is all the Bitcoin news I had for you. I thought that was plenty to share, but at least I wanted to cover just one more little hacking, not really hacking, crypto theft that happened. Yeah, this happened in South Korea, and a woman is being jailed for stealing $500,000 in crypto from her sleeping boyfriend. So, ooh, be careful about your loved ones, guys, especially if you're just dating them. You may not want to tell them you have all this crypto. And again, that's also rule number one in crypto. Never tell anybody how much crypto you've got. Like, that's just numero uno. If you trust your girlfriend, like knowing like, oh, he's got all this crypto and she knows how to get to it, oh, that's not good. So let's hear a little bit more about this story. So the woman identified only as A, we're not getting her real name, but she was convicted on May 15th of embezzlement and fraud for stealing $488,000 or 683 million won in crypto. So what did she do? So a South Korean woman in her 40s has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for transferring $500,000 worth of crypto and cash from her boyfriend's accounts while he was asleep. Ooh. Now, the woman in her 40s, identified only as A, was convicted on May 15th of embezzlement and fraud for moving the $488,000 and in crypto from her partner's wallet to her own wallet. Oh, so she did it to her own wallet too. Crazy. She also stole his mobile phone and an additional $1,430 in cash while he slept, bringing the total haul to roughly $489,000. Now, according to local media, though the woman admitted to all the charges at the Jeju District Court, her legal team claimed that the actual loss was just 21.9 million won, or $15,600. Because most of the funds had since been returned, the court, however, found little cause for leniency. Yeah, that's good because she stole money. Like, just because you return the money back, she was probably trying to make a quick little game. It's like, oh, I can make a trade. I'll make the money back, send it back to him without him even noticing. It's like, nope, that's still theft. Don't do it. Now, the total amount of damage is large, the judge ruled, noting that the defendant had 2 prior fraud convictions and was already on trial for another fraud case at the time of theft. Now, the conviction adds to a troubling rise in crypto-related crimes in Jeju and globally, as peer-to-peer trades increasingly lead to theft, assault, and even murder. In February, a man in his 30s was found stabbed to death in a Jeju hotel after traveling there for a private crypto exchange. We also have 4 Chinese nationals that were arrested after allegedly fleeing with $63,000 in stolen funds. And weeks later, 6 more Chinese nationals were retained on the island for stealing $610,000 in digital assets from 2 other traders after a violent altercation. And the same month in Florida, a 22-year-old Masai Jabali allegedly stole $850,000 worth of Trump-themed meme coins from her ex-boyfriend after a fight aboard his yacht. She now faces grand theft charges and possible deportation. So these thefts are still going on too, and hence why never tell anybody how much you got in crypto. It's okay to say that, yeah, I dabble in crypto. I got in it. I got involved around this year, started learning. Yeah, I believe in it. I think this house is going to be great. That's good to talk about like that, but you never disclose how much you have. If people are trying to like nitpick you, it's like oh, what price did you buy in at? Oh, how much did you buy at? It's like they're just trying to egg you on because they like being enticed. Like the average person gets enticed by when people make lots of money. Like, I don't know. Everyone likes hearing that. To me, it's like a dime a dozen. Whenever I saw people come in here like, oh yeah, I bought Bitcoin, it was like $1, $2. I'm still like holding a little bit of it. So like not as much as I did, but a lot. Like I'd be like, cool, that's awesome, good for you. Like to me, that's all it'll do. But for everyone else, it's like nobody else needs to know about it. It's like a flex that nobody cares to know. Like I like hearing about like the big companies adopting it, but just individuals, it's like, what's their status? What's this really going to change? But yeah, so I forgot where I was going on with that. But yeah, so just be careful, guys, out there from just with everyone. Be on high alert. There's crypto kidnappings going along. We see those in the news. We got printers with malware in it to have a clipboard hack on it. And what else is going on? Kidnappings, printers, and as usual, Roman scams. It's like those are common out there. So just be very alert and just be aware of just everything that goes on in crypto. Be aware of the scams. And that way you can keep yourself as safe as possible and get yourself a crypto-only laptop from Calyx Solutions. It's just the ultimate way to know that your assets are secure. So that is it, everybody, for the news. Let's take a look at our Fear and Greed Index, see where we're at after this little dip, but we're rising. We're at a 71 right now. Altcoin season still to 26, so we're still more in the Bitcoin season right now. And again, people are still like wondering, it's like, are we going to have an alt season? How long is it going to get pushed back? Honestly, we just got to wait for Bitcoin to rise first, and then we'll see what goes on there. Will the money be allocated to some altcoins like Ethereum first, and then we see the altcoins rise? We don't know, but again, like just with everything going on in the world, it's like we may have a late altcoin season, and just all this energy just keeps flowing into Bitcoin, and we're going to see some nice actions there. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Like now, just the more news I get, the more adoption that comes out. Bitcoin's just getting scarcer. It's just I just see a lot more news just flowing in, energy just flowing into Bitcoin. So yeah, guys. Well, I hope everyone has a good Monday. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully on time. Again, sorry. And I will be back with more crypto news for you. So take care. Love you. Peace.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.